So define what is economics. Who is the father of economics? Economics is the study of how individual businesses and government use scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants and needs. It deals with production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. The father of economics is Adam Smith, who wrote The Wealth of a Nation in 1776. He introduced the idea of the invisible hand, explaining how markets regulate themselves through supply and demand. So number 2, what are the branches of economics and define each? So we have microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics studies the behavior of individuals, households, and firms in making decisions about resource allocation, prices, and production. Example is how a company sets the price of its product. We have macroeconomic studies the economy as a whole, including national income, inflation, unemployment, and government policies. Example is how the government controls inflation through monetary policy. So number 3 is the 10 basic principles of economics. And there are 3 clusters of the basic principles of economics. You have the how people make decisions, how people interact, and how the economy works at the whole. So first is how people make decisions. The principles under this are the people face trade-off is choosing one thing means giving up another. Example, it is like spending on leisure versus work. So the next is the cost of something is what you give up to get it. So it is the opportunity cost. Example is studying means giving up time to rest. Next is rational people think at the margins. So it's where people make decisions by comparing benefits and costs of small changes. Next is people respond to incentives. It is the rewards of punishments influence decision. So next cluster is how people interact. The principles under this are the trade can make everyone better off. It's exchange of benefits, both buyers and sellers. Next is the markets are usually a good way to organize economic activity. It's like the invincible hand guides resources efficiently. Next is the governments can sometimes improve economic outcomes. So the policies like taxes or subsidies corrects market failure. So we have the last cluster, how the economy works as a whole. The principles under this are the country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce goods and services. Its more productivity is equals to higher income. Next is the prices rise when the government prints too much money. So too much money supply causes inflation. Last is the society faces a short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. So reducing unemployment can cause inflation and reducing inflation can cause high unemployment. So number 4 is a brief history of macroeconomics and who is the father of macroeconomics. So before the 1930s, economic focused mainly on individuals and small markets like microeconomics. So next, the Great Depression happened in 1929 to 1939, caused by massive unemployment and economic collapse, showing the need to study the economy as a whole. So the father of macroeconomics is John Maynard Keynes, who developed the theories on government spending and demand management in his book, which is the general theory of employment, interest in money, and money in 1936. Number 5 are the macroeconomic concerns and goals of a country and its impact to the nation. So the concerns are inflation, unemployment, economic growth, balance of payments or trade, and income inequality. So the goals are the price stability, low unemployment, sustainable economic growth, fair distribution of income, and stable currency and trade balance. So the impact is achieving these goals, improve living standards, create jobs, reduces poverty, and strengthen the economy. So the circular flow model of economics. So the circular flow of income and spending shows how money, goods and services move in an economy. Households provides labor to firms and receive wages. Firms produce goods and services and sell them to households and pay wages. Government collects taxes and provide public services. Financial institutions channel savings into investments. Foreign sector involves exports and imports. So it explains the interdependence of sectors. Like households earn income from firms, spin into goods, and the cycle continues. Last is the understanding the law of supply and demand. So first is the law of demand is when the prices go up, demand falls down, and when the prices go down, demand rises. And the law of supply is when the prices go up, suppliers are willing to produce more. When prices go down, they produce less. And we have equilibrium, the point where the supply and demand meet determines the market price. So that's the understanding is this law explains how prices are determined in the market. For example, if demand for rice increases but supply is limited, so the price of rice goes up.